everybody tonight. Podcast TRT Podcast Night, Week 3, live from DePaul's in the basement where the Baltimore Touchdown has their meetings tonight. Unfortunately, tonight I'm the only host that's here. I have two guest hosts, which I'll go into in a couple minutes, that are extremely brilliant coaches, and I'll read a little bit about those guys to introduce them. But first, I want to say, Trogdon is out with his wife doing something. It's football season. Wives need to take a back seat. Relax. You should be here, Trogdon. And then I want to shout out to Elwood. Elwood has a job. This is his job, being a football coach, but he had a meeting tonight, so he couldn't be there. So what I'm going to do is throw a flag right away. There's a 15-yard penalty on both of those guys for not being here tonight. But again, we want to welcome the offensive coordinator, Steve Rapp, from Wise High School, 5-time state champion. Went to Eleanor Roosevelt High School, really knows the game of football. He's going to do our X and O's, and he's going to talk about people from down there. Welcome tonight, Steve. How you doing?
Thank you, Rip. I appreciate it.
You got to kind of yell like a football coach so everybody can hear you.
I appreciate you guys bringing a PG County guy on here. It's a lot of Baltimore love up here.
Yeah, but the argument up here is all the time is, can you guys really beat our football teams up here?
Oh, there's no question.
No way. We come down there, we can beat any of those guys from up there. So we'll talk about that tonight. Welcome aboard, Steve. We'll cover a bunch of sessions. On my left, you're right. We have Jamie Willis. Jamie Willis from Long Beach High School has been coaching high school football for 15 years. Jamie was a tight end at National Powerhouse Champs, Youngstown State. Jamie, how you doing tonight? Did I forget anything?
No, I'm living the dream, Rip. How are you, man?
Good. You ready to talk some football tonight?
Always. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Good deal. All right, like always, we're going to start off, talk about the COVID-19 situation that's going on, and we're going to elaborate and talk about some things that are going on. We have Keith Rawlings on the line. He's been on our podcast, I believe, the first 2 times, but Keith's on tonight to promote a march that they're going to have this Saturday down in Annapolis. He's asking all high school football players, high school coaches, parents, anybody who wants to play football this fall or get everything geared up to meet in Annapolis and voice our concerns. So Keith, you there?
I'm here.
All right, fill us in, buddy. Tell us what's going on.
So we got this rally. Capitol Police is really working with us. They're going to block off the street. So people are going to park at the employee lot there on St. John's and Calvert. Then they're going to walk right down the street, and you'll see an area mapped out. We'll have signs directing people. The goal is to have as many players, coaches, parents get out there and voice their frustration with not having a fall football season. We're one of 9 states right now that sit with no high school football. I think our kids are going to be affected drastically with the recruiting process when other states are playing, and our kids here in Maryland are not playing. So, we got Bob Ehrlich's going to speak. The legend Doug Duval is going to speak. We're going to have some kids speak, and maybe have a couple parents voice their concerns. But we need everybody to show up. We need, a large attendance. So we're going to have Ehrlich getting a bunch of the media stations out there. So we're hoping to really have a voice and let people hear this voice that we can do things safe. We can do temperature checks at practice, temperature checks before games. There's a lot of things we can do and play football here in Maryland like they're playing all across the country.
Yeah, that sounds good. How are you promoting this other than us? I mean, what is it? How are you promoting it right now?
So we got it out all over social media. I know that it's been going wildfire through social media. We're hoping the Coaches Association continues to support us and put that out there. You guys, obviously, through the Baltimore Touchdown Club, getting this out. I've been calling coaches. Ehrlich's been calling coaches. He's been on WBAL. Both of us were on Fox today. We're just trying to get the word out. Vinny Serrata is helping us out, getting the word out at 105.7 The Fan. Vinny's a great guy. His kid's a high school senior, not having a season right now. So, a lot of people are ready to be done with football being the only sport not playing. Football is the only sport that doesn't have a club team. You got lacrosse and all these other sports. They're able to play. They're able to get their kids recruited through club teams. Football does not have that option.
Right. I'll tell you what was really cool yesterday. I was listening to 1090 AM, and it was late in the afternoon, about 3:30, and they actually had 2 players call in, and the guy who was announcing the show wanted to get the perspective of the kids missing out on their season, and it was devastating listening to these kids talk about how hard they've worked to have the senior year, and now they're not playing, and they're like, we'll turn it on the TV. ESPN has all these games playing, and we're not playing, and it's not right, and it's unbelievable.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? This is Steve Rapp. OC Wise High School. I got an interesting question for you. Okay. In our county, over in PG, we've been shut down since last February? Is that when it kind of hit and rolled through, or whenever we've been shut down since then? So, dealing with the NFL thing and all the injuries that just happened this weekend, do you feel like that, kind of pushing it or forcing it to go in the fall now with no kind of in-person workouts or any of the things that go along with football, do you think that's going to be an issue?
So, these kids are working. One of the things I've been proud is seeing my seniors take leadership. I mean, they're meeting out on fields. There was an organized 7-on-7 done by kids. There was no parents. There was no coaches involved. These kids got together a couple weekends ago, and they got, a bunch of teams, and they had their own tournament. These kids are working out. I do think we're going to need, a good 2 to 3 weeks of getting them acclimated back into, conditioning. So if you look at Delaware, Minnesota just announced, everyone's using the target of October 23rd. So if we looked at October 23rd and we got the approval, say by this time next week, we would have a good 3 weeks or so to get these kids ready. And I think that should be the focus. I think each coach should be preparing their kids, as like on standby. This thing could happen, and we got to be ready.
And if you start October 23rd, how do you think that? How long are you looking? You're saying that are we talking a 9-game season with a 5-game playoff like the MPSSAA does, or are you talking an abbreviated deal? What's your take on that?
I think you've got to when I'm talking to some politicians and they're asking like what things will high school football players, high school coaches and parents work with. One of the questions was, would you be willing to stay virtual? And you talk to any kid, he would stay virtual if it allowed him to play football.
Oh, question.
That allows them to keep him and his teammates not in the school building, and we can monitor them. So if a player would get the virus, it's not going through the whole school. Same thing as if there's a kid in the school, he's not getting to give it to the kid on the team, and he's going down and playing the opponent. The opponent's now the team's getting it, and it's going through that school. Now, as far as the previous year, I think absolutely. I think you got to look at a 6 to 7 game schedule. Some states are doing it where everybody makes the playoffs the first round, so that would be week 8, and then you do your playoffs from there. I mean, if we got to play in a little bit of cold weather, I mean, we're used to playing these all-star games in, December, January. I mean, that's football.
Coach from Wise says that they're used to playing in the state championship in the cold weather. That's what he said to me earlier today.
No, he said that. He said that.
Hey, Coach, this is Jamie Willis, Long Beach High School. How are you doing today, sir? I'm well. I know Howard County's Board of Ed is really, they haven't pushed us to allow to do anything. We basically have to stay virtual the whole time. And I know Frederick County and Carroll County is starting to do in-person workouts. Don't you feel that's a little bit of an unbalance and for certain counties that are still shut down, where other counties are allowed to be in person? Doesn't that give them like a little bit of advantage towards other schools?
So you just hit the nail on the head of our state's problem. So our state right now, you have 23 superintendents. You got a superintendent over all their heads. And now the issue is all these different counties doing different things. Cecil County is already practicing. They're doing 7-on-7. They got approval through their superintendent to do that. I agree with you. It's not always equal. But I do know. We in Harford County, we were able to do we got 2 weeks of the conditioning in, and then they shut that down. They started it up, and then when all the colleges started saying they were going to have a season, then we were shut down. And I don't know why I wanted to follow, just because the colleges were shut down. We couldn't even have 15 kids out on a 100-yard field working out. That was ridiculous. And we were bringing them in, every 2 hours. You'd have 30 minutes in between kids coming. We were doing temperature checks. The kids had to sign in, so we had roster checks. I mean, AD was out there with me. We had ice baths set up, and we got 2 weeks of that in, and it was shut down. So, I think Maryland needs to figure out a way to stay consistent with some of these other states, when it comes to, the authority over sports.
I agree with you, Coach, because I know that in Howard County, we've tried to get a 7-on-7 league, and our head of athletics and Warner shut us down and said we had to follow the 80% rule, which was basically 5 out of 7. So I don't know how other counties are doing 7-on-7 with 5 of their own kids.
That was the exact same thing we heard here in our county. We were trying to get one started, and then there was no interest. So that, like I said, the kids got tired of us coaches saying, yeah, we're going to have 7-on-7, we're going to have 7-on-7, yeah, we're going to have workouts. They're doing it on their own. I'm proud of them. You see who your leaders are. These kids are sending videos. I saw a whole 7-on-7 game on video the other day. These kids they're getting it done.
Yep. Oh, Keith, again.
And what we got to express to the state is these kids are going to find a way. All these other sports in the state are going on. Why not let us have a safety check on our kids? Like I said, we can do temperature checks and do all these things to help these kids, but they're not even giving us a chance to do that.
I know. All right, so one more time, Keith, repeat what's going on Saturday for everybody.
All right, so Saturday we're meeting in Annapolis. You come right down the road, you turn left on Calvert, you park right there in the employee parking garage. You come right down the street, you'll see the rally right on the corner there. At 2 o'clock, try to get there maybe 1:30. We're expecting a big crowd. Really try to spread the word. Have guys wear their, the team colors. If they have the jerseys, wear their jerseys. And let's really try to have a big win in Annapolis this Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, we need to show people that high school football is relevant in the state of Maryland. Again, hey Keith, thanks for calling in tonight, and we'll talk to you soon. See you Saturday.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So again, we talk about this as the norm for this coronavirus stuff. Today I was looking around on the internet and saw a couple good things that I wanted to talk about tonight. We've been talking about making sure we have a plan if high school football starts in the fall or even in the spring. So this was something I got today from a Texas head football coach. He said today in his interview, it's very strange because during practice time, during the game, during halftime, coaches are usually worried about X and O's, worrying about game plans, worrying about their parents, worrying about their players. They're concentrating on winning football games. And this Tennessee coach said, man, things are definitely changing. And he put up, there's many states putting restrictions in a number of regular season high school games to safeguard against the virus that's going on. So again, they limited the games that we talked about. There's endless lists of social distancing guidelines that have been suggested and mandated by state associations and in the nation, not to mention the national governing body, the NFHS, has come up with coronavirus stuff. He said, he went on to reiterate, coaches are worried now. Coaches are wearing masks. They're making the sidelines longer. Each kid has to have their own individual water bottle. One captain's going out flipping the coin toss for his team. They'll eliminate team benches. They don't want the kids sitting next to each other. There's no towel sharing and there's no handshaking. And they're doing temperature checks before and after the game. Coach, can you put that graph up? It shows, we have a graph we want to show of all the teams that have restarted their football program in the fall. As you can see, the two coasts are the two that are not going on. So the coach kept talking about this coach from Tennessee. He says his team has been coronavirus free since June 27th. And he said, I must reiterate and tell everybody, we've asked everyone involved, from our coaches to all of our student trainers, to make great decisions and athletes to make great decisions. We spray their helmets down every day after practice and before practice. We spray down the locker room. We clean the equipment with all kinds of cleaning solutions. We wear masks while we're in the facility and having meetings. We also check temperatures again when they leave and go. So again, when we talk about this, we're talking about our coaches are going to abide by all those rules. We want the kids to play. That's basically, what we'll say. So you see the graph. Coaches, you got anything to add to that? No, you don't.
That's the time that we live in now. It's protection first. I think in the end, we all want to play. So preventative maintenance is the way to go.
Yeah, and I think the kids have bought into that and understand all that whatever we need to do to play, they're willing to buy in and do. So that's half the battle, as we know as high school coaches, that getting the kids to buy into safety. But those are like Coach Rapp said, these are the signs of the times. And whether we play in the fall or in the spring, I don't think the guidelines are going to change.
Yeah, we need to learn to live with this virus,
right,
as opposed to it's not going to go away. It's a normal thing that's going to go on. Little pitch to everybody there. They keep saying, make sure you get your flu shot in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Very important. I know some people said they're not getting the shot for this virus, but you better get your flu shot. so all the medical guys out there. All right, next segment, we'll talk about new coaches. That's my advisory I put across today.
There you go. Already done, Coach.
We're going to talk about new coaches. We've been talking the last 2 weeks about all these coaches' changes, and we want to get one coach on the line tonight to talk about his change and what's going on. We got Josh Ward. He is now the head coach at Calvert Hall, Powerhouse Calvert Hall. Donald Davis has since left and went down to D.C. to coach a team. Coach Ward left Concordia Prep, which is a B Conference strong team. He's done a great job. He's coached at St. Francis, well respected in the football community. Coach, you there? Coach.
How's it going, Coach?
What's up, man? How are you?
Not bad, man. Just ready to play some football.
Wake up. You sound like you've been practicing this week. You all right?
Nah. I'm good, man. I'm actually out here at a workout right now.
You got a workout right now? Where, at Calvert Hall?
Yeah. No, we're at our strength and conditioning coach's farm right now working out. So
Strength and conditioning
it's been
farm.
great
What?
around the
Rapp, you got a farm in what?
Absolutely not.
Long Reach. I know there's farms in Long Reach. You got one out there?
Hey, listen, we don't call those farms at Rawlings.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Josh, Coach Ward, I'll tell you today, I was listening to the radio again, and I heard 105.7. I had Mel Kiper was on there. Boy, he was tearing up about how Calvert Hall is the powerhouse in the country, can play everybody. He's your number one promoter there, right?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, we need that. We definitely need that.
So
we're excited about everything going on.
So Coach Phil said, what are you looking at? What kind of team you got? Who are your standout players? What do you think?
We graduated about 40 kids, which is a big chunk of seniors. But we're also bringing back two very, very talented quarterbacks. We're bringing back a couple of seniors that are Division I football players on the defensive side and offensive side. So we're going to be young, but we're very talented. Have a bunch of very good sophomores and juniors that are going to have to step up this year. But we definitely have a lot of talent. We just got to get them all going in the right direction.
Coach, who's calling the plays for you, and who's calling the defense for you?
I brought my defensive coordinator over from Concordia, Adam Southwick. He was there previously, and his father actually has been there for over 20 years and actually coached me, and he's on staff. And I have a guy who coached me back in college, Jay Robinson, as well as my brother is going to help out on the offensive side, who just moved back from California. So we have a great staff. We have a couple of former head coaches on staff. So we're ready, locked and loaded.
Coach, are you guys you virtual learning right now, or you actually have kids in school? You guys being a Catholic school, what are you guys doing?
We're actually in person. We're in person. Right now we're at 25%, so about 250 to 300 kids a day. They come once a week, and it's been going great. We've been doing it for 3 weeks.
So the ultimate question here is that 25% is the whole football team in?
That's probably the worst piece of it. There might be a day where I have no quarterbacks, 5 wide receivers, so I got my quarterback coach throwing to them. So that's probably been the biggest struggle.
Right.
We get the team as a whole 1 day a week, but that's probably been the biggest struggle so far, is not having the whole team together.
So what are you for? I know there was an MIA meeting yesterday, and they discussed things are on hold, but they're exploring the possibility of playing in the fall. What are you hearing?
The closer we get to October, the less positive I am about it. I just want to play at some point this year, and I want to have kind of a decision made. The biggest thing I heard, you guys talking earlier, like we've been practicing since middle of July. 80 kids out, 90 kids out, and they're not going. We haven't had one case. The kids socially distance. We've used footballs. They wear masks. You're seeing it all over the country. I mean, if you can do it the right way, we can't let this virus define us. We have to just adjust. This virus is here. It's not going away right now. It's not going away for the foreseeable future. So I'm hopeful we'll play, maybe late October, maybe November, but if not, hopefully sometime in February.
Hey, Coach, just Steve Rapp, Wise High School. I appreciate the fact of, you kind of saying that you can't let the virus define you. You got to figure out where to function, move forward from that. The biggest thing from, not being from Baltimore, just kind of looking at the MIAA from the outside. We played Calvert Hall twice within the last couple of years. Obviously, when Coach Davis was there. And what do you think
Wait a minute. Who won? Who won the game?
We won the first one.
Okay.
Then I don't know what happened the second time.
Calvert Hall won the second one.
Yeah.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I'm going to see Rapp on tonight just so I can rub that in. I got it. Go ahead.
I can tell you it was a little suspect. You're
No!
supposed to play on Friday night. We drove all the way up here Friday night. They canceled the game, sent us back home, and then came back Saturday. They played in the rain. Yeah, it was kind of a cluster, and then they scored with they had the ball on the 2-yard line with 17 seconds left and just didn't finish. That ended our 42-game winning streak.
Wow.
So I still gotta, I'm a little tight, coach. I know it don't have anything to do with you. so just you can feel it in my voice a little bit, but it is what it is. All right, coming from Concordia, going to Calvert Hall. What do you think the biggest obstacle is to quote unquote beat the city up or the county to get the players in there you need to win the A?
We just gotta, cast a wide net. We also don't want to go too far away from our campus. We got a great area of Harford County and Baltimore County, and even you can get into Anne Arundel County. But we just got to get out there and sell our program. I mean, we have a great academic school, great facilities. If you're a multi-sport athlete, you're good in lacrosse or baseball or basketball. I mean, we have very good teams. So I think, we just gotta beat all the doors down and sell our staff and sell our program. But I'm definitely excited about that, and I think I was able to do it at a small school like Concordia, and I think I can do it now having the resources that I have at Calvert Hall.
All right, so you should definitely say thank you to me for throwing you that alley-oop for the public service.
We'll have to schedule that game so you can get a rematch.
If I was still the head coach of St. Paul's, I'd be throwing that yellow flag again. I'd be throwing it again.
Yeah.
Josh, Jamie Willis here, Long Reach. How are you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm well. How does it feel to be back at your alma mater?
Oh, man, it's unbelievable. It's great. It's a special feeling to be back there. It's just right now it's weird because I'm getting to know my kids through a mask. I'm getting to know my school through a mask, teaching there, and like I said, it's going to be a special feeling stepping out there for our first game. I mean, we should be in week 4, week 3, week 4. So it's been great, but this is like a weird period, man. I'm not even truly back there yet because we haven't been able to have practice, have games, and have actual full school. So, but it's been great.
Good. I'm happy for you, sir.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
So, Coach, real quick, we're going to cover the MIA next week and the week after. Who are the teams beat? Who are you hearing?
I'm going to say us. But, obviously you got, St. Joe. St. Joe's a great squad. They're returning a quarterback that's been there for 4 years and has broken a lot of records. JMU commit. They have Deontay Thornton is going wherever the heck he wants to go in college. So, I mean, they're a special team. I mean, they got a new coach, but Dom's been around for a while, and he's a great coach. You got McDonough, who's loaded up front.
Right.
And you got Kyle Schmidt, who's a hell of a coach at Spalding, and you even have Gilman. So I mean, it's gonna be a tight. It's always a good fight. But we're up for the challenge, and we're ready for it, and we want to be the best team in the MIAA conference.
That sounds good. Before we close, so the question is, are you going to re-up this Wise game? This Wise guys versus Calvert Hall Cardinals?
If we ever play football again, we definitely might. We might just have to play it at Calvert Hall.
No, sir. Don't worry. We learned a valuable lesson about
right,
that.
so you were on the 3-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Time was running out. What was the play you were going to call?
What do you mean? You called the play.
So what would you? Oh, they stuffed it and that was it.
No. We ran.
So you called a bad play? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
not at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. We ran a sprint out, and he threw it out the back of the end zone. Like,
Oh, come on.
I can do
Come on.
Game over. So, don't worry, we won't be up in Baltimore County anymore. But you're more than welcome to come on down to PG, buddy.
That's great.
Hey, we're up for it. We definitely, I love that. Playing the best public schools. Maybe we'll get a match with Long Reach over there too.
That sounds like a plan.
As long as you don't take my kids.
How long as you don't take his kids. Yeah, it's done. Hey, Josh, we wish you nothing but the best at
Yes,
Calvert
sir.
Hall.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you keep winning the Turkey Bowl, continue Coach Davis's tradition, and good luck. All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
No problem. See
Good
you,
luck,
Josh.
Coach.
Bye-bye. Hey, that's awesome. You guys will take your headsets off now. Josh has been a big-time supporter of the BTC. He's coached in a lot of games. Like I said, he's been around, knows the game of football. Couldn't ask for a better ambassador to teach kids life lessons than what he's going to do at Calvert Hall. So he's going to be successful. All right, moving into our next segment of our show. We're going to go games of the week, high school games of the week. Which games would be played? I went on Max Preps today, looked at who would have played today. Jamie, I apologize, but we're going to focus on Montgomery County and PG County because we had Steve come all the way up here. So you're going to have to think and throw in who you want to win, who would win that game. All right, so the first game tonight, Friday night, would have been Northwest at Richard Montgomery High School. Coach, who are we picking for that game?
All right, that's two playoff teams. I really like watching RM. They do some good things offensively, but Northwest, being in the state championship last year, returned a bunch of players. Also, receiver Caden Prather, who's committed to West Virginia, he probably scores 3-4 touchdowns in that game. Probably Northwest by 21.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Northwest too. Coach Newbiser down there.
Yes, sir.
Coach Newbiser is the
My
Big 33 head coach. This year they postponed the game, so he's going to continue. Knowing Mike's real organized, knows the game of football. He's a defensive guy, which is great. I'm a defensive guy. Knows how to tackle. Real energetic, and he's organized. I have to go with Northwest, no doubt.
Chris Samuels calling the plays. He does a great job.
Does a great job.
Redskin.
What do you think?
We're more further north, but I would have to go with Northwest, just seeing them on film and some of the things they do.
So Northwest has got 3 wins there. All right, moving right along. We also have CH Flowers at Parkdale this week.
Ooh, that was a rout. Let me tell you. I would say Flowers by maybe triple digits.
And I always go with the underdog. I'm going to go with Parkdale. Parkdale's going to have an upset. CH Flowers. I'm going to bet a large pizza on that one. Parkdale with the win.
Well, I'm going with Flowers. We scrimmaged Parkdale last year, and we're going to scrimmage them again this year. I've seen them play live. Flowers, whew. I don't know if Parkdale had enough for them, Coach.
There you go.
What's Parkdale run offensively?
They're spread, they're live, but I don't even think it's the offense. I don't know if they had enough defensively to stop some of the things.
Flowers?
Yeah.
I would concur with that.
Moving right along. Third game of the week would be Suitland versus Laurel. Suitland.
Wrecking Rams versus PG legend Mike Mayo. Coach Shields, he's definitely going to come away with this W probably by about 28, maybe 35.
I go with Suitland too. Coach Shields does a great job. Real organized coach, a legend down in the community down there. Has been coaching forever.
Yes, sir.
So many kids I know when you ask them, they talk about him. How he treats them. He's definitely a player's coach.
Yes, sir.
Loves the game of football. Is a mentor to us, and does all the right things down there. So Suitland by a bunch there.
Yeah, I'm going with Suitland. At times, you fail to realize that Laurel actually has a team some days. Just saying, Coach.
All right,
They run that single wing, baby.
You know what? I played Laurel 3 or 4 years ago. They're doing better things than they've done. So we'll give them a little props there too. And the last one we have Wise versus Bowie. Wise versus Bowie. That would be a great game.
First though, let me
Warm the bus up.
Let me shout out. This game will be Coach Parrish versus Coach Parrish. Bowie's head coach name is Coach Parrish as well. Gus Parrish.
Parrish times two.
He played tackle at Kent State and then played for the Bengals a little bit. He's doing a great job over there at Bowie, building a program that he got from the bottom and getting better. Where last year I think they ended up being the 3 seed in our in the playoffs. Pretty good, but hey, big fella, a little too much for you today.
So does Bowie, since it's Bowie High School, does
Yep.
Bowie State help them out? The college help them out a little bit?
I don't know. That'd be a good question. I would say that they have a super strong boys and girls club over there. Bowie Boys and Girls Club. It's almost like nationally known. They produce players inside out every year. It's a great area to be in, and I think they got the right man for the job.
Right. And I'm going to go with Wise. Again, Wise, 5-time state champ. DeLon Parrish, again, big 33 coach, is always there for us whenever we need something. I've never met a coach who is so selfless. It's all about the kids. It's all about what can he do to promote high school football, which is great. He's a great ambassador for the state of Maryland. God, wish him nothing but success. The kids he's rolling out down there in the NFL, he's doing a great job. So I go with Wise. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Wise, too. They got it rolling down there a little bit. And even though our company's over here, a Wise guy. But, yeah, I mean, Jimmy's and Joe's, baby. Jimmy and Joe's.
I would go with Wise losing to Calvert Hall if they played. All right, so we're moving right on.
Bet on that.
All right, bet on that. All right, so moving on to that. We talked about this last week. Some big college football games this weekend, so we're going to give a little bit of predictions here for SEC football games and some of the big games. So, coaches, Tennessee's at South Carolina. Who's going to walk away with that victory?
All right, so I'm going to go Will Muschamp on this one. Coach Muschamp, liked him since he was at University of Texas. I'm going South Carolina on that one.
I'm going Tennessee. Again, there's nothing like Tennessee playing Rocky Top. There's nothing about the big T on their helmet, their campus, their football, their tradition. I've been in Neyland Stadium, even though they're playing at South Carolina. It's awesome. Tennessee's rebounding with what they got. They're going to be playing a tough conference, but they're going to be good. So I'm going with Tennessee.
I got to go with South Carolina. I think at South Carolina, home opener, trying to figure, first game of the season. I think those guys are going to be really pumped to play at home.
Play defense and run the ball, man. It's kind of hard to beat that.
Second game, Alabama at Missouri. Alabama versus Missouri. Bama.
Well, I'm going to go, even though I hate to say this, Alabama. I'm not a big Alabama fan, but, I mean, he has it rolling. I mean, all he does is pick and plug, and, I mean, whoo! Even though they're at Missouri, I don't know if Missouri got enough.
I'm going with Missouri for an upset. First time, Saban, he's going to take them down. Alabama football.
Hey, I would have liked to see Alabama announce the young freshman as the starting quarterback, but they're going with Matt Jones. So I just think, once again, with a veteran line, veteran quarterback, they're going to figure out a way to get that done. Alabama.
All right, third game, Georgia at Arkansas.
I might have to go with Arkansas. I think Georgia has a lot of stuff going on with them. The young man, they're one of their top prospects at corners trying to transfer out to Ole Miss. I think there's a lot of stuff going on down in Georgia. I'm going to take the upset with Arkansas.
I'm going to go with Georgia because, I like their uniforms. I like the red and black and the big G on their helmet. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna go.
And Kirby Smart.
I was saying I'm gonna go with Georgia because I like Kirby Smart.
Right. So I'm gonna say because he's smart. He's gonna win.
A fiery coach that wants to play good defense and run the football. And I think once again Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson just top of the line when it comes to the players. So I think that's kind of where we are.
Going to be an awesome game. All right, next game on tap: Texas at Texas Tech.
Texas, baby. I love Sam Ehlinger, the quarterback. I think he's in that top 5, quarterbacks in college football. I like to watch him, kind of old schoolish, a lot of RPO stuff, QB run. I think they're going to blow Texas Tech out.
They're going to blow Texas Tech out.
I'm out. It's gonna be
I don't know. Texas Tech's already played this year, haven't they?
So is Texas.
What's their records right now?
Texas is 2-0.
2-0.
Look like a machine.
Look like a machine. Because you want Texas, I'm going to go Texas Tech. Texas Tech with the upset.
Take it right
I'm going Texas. I mean, he does a hell of a job. I think he's learned a lot at his time at Ohio State, and I think he's getting it rolling right now.
Sounds good. And the last final game is Florida versus Ole Miss.
Hey, Ole Miss, baby. Lane Kiffin back in the head seat.
That's why I brought that up.
DJ Durkin back as the D coordinator.
DJ's running the defense
DJ's
center?
the D coordinator down there.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We got to go with the guys that helped us, man.
Right.
Ole Miss, baby. No
Ole
question
Miss.
for the upset.
For the upset. I'm going to go Ole Miss also. Lane Kiffin, he's been around forever. I don't know how that guy bounces so many teams. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. One of these times he's going to wind up winning everything. It's just a matter. It gets recycled over and over and over again. And and again for DJ Durkin, it's good. He was good here in Maryland. It's unfortunate the thing that occurred down in Maryland, but again, dealing with him with the Coaches Association was all about high school football. Was all about taking care of business in the state, trying to retain as many kids as you can. So again, as we always talk about as football coaches, you got to forgive guys and move on and hopefully he learned from his lesson and he's good to go.
Yeah, I love Durkin. I coached him at Bowling Green. He was a D lineman.
Bowling Green, really?
I did.
Big time.
Yeah.
Deal.
But
Hold up, there was a D lineman?
yeah,
Oh,
he was much bigger than.
how about to say?
Yeah.
He was a tight end. Are you kidding me?
However, let's not get it twisted. Florida going until Lane Kiffin wins something. I gotta go with Florida.
Oh, I spoke with my heart coach.
I
know.
We know Lane Kiffin gonna make a decision. They're gonna do something.
All right, so you guys got our picks for high school and college now. You got tons of money. I would roll the dice, make a lot of money off our bets because we were pretty good last week. So moving right along too, we're going to go with the Baltimore Ravens Coaches of the Week. We want to congratulate Coach Reggie White from Milford Mill was one of the Coaches of the Weeks, and William Bell, former coach at Severna Park, is now at Hammond High School. So we want to congratulate those guys. We work closely with the Baltimore Ravens. You know, before this meeting, we talked about it. You know, the Ravens are always there for high school football. You know, if you don't know and you're tuning in this podcast, a lot of our all-star practices are at the Ravens facility. A lot of stuff is geared around their youth programs that they have. I mean, I've never seen a program jump in, or a pro team that supports us. What about the Skins down your way? They support you?
Oh man, we'd rather not talk about that.
You'd rather not talk about that?
Let's just say down on the south side, we're a little jealous of what the Ravens do for y'all.
Right.
All right.
So the little special shout out to Matt Little and Adam Riddell is the two guys who take care of us.
Let us thank the Ravens too, because each time that we've been lucky enough to win the state championship, the Ravens has had us up to see the game and get us on the field and tickets to the kids and stuff. I think that's a once in a lifetime experience, man. So
Awesome.
we appreciate that a lot.
Great. All right, moving right along. Now we're going to cover, each week we cover leagues and talk about some teams, top 4 teams, top 6 teams, whatever teams these guys want to talk about. Coach Rapp's going to cover PG County, and we have Coach over here, Willis, going to cover some of Howard County things. So our format, Coach, is I fire to you, talk as long as you want about the school, and then when you're done, if we got any questions, we'll ask you a question, then we'll flip to him, and we'll flip back and forth. And then after that, we'll go to our X and O's and wrap it up for tonight. So what do we got, Coach? Who's up first?
Sounds good. Okay, we're going to talk about Frederick Douglass High School first.
Is that Frederick Douglass? See, all the time being a Baltimore guy, we got a school Douglass up here.
I know the real Douglass is in PG though. You can check that out.
Okay. All right. I'll shut up on that one. If I had to choose who would win that game all the time, it'd be the PG County.
So there we go. We'll take that one. Okay.
Except if Elwood was still the head coach at Frederick.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
There
Move
it
right
is.
on.
So,
Yep. Shout out to you, Elwood.
Douglass is located about, it's in Upper Marlboro. It's probably about 3 miles from Wise. So, the running joke is kind of, I think we play the best football in PG County and Upper Marlboro, but, I'm just going, that's kind of a hometown one, but I got it. Coach, they got to the region final last year and lost to Newtown in double overtime. Down there had the ball inside the 2 and didn't convert. So, I think Coach is a little upset about that. No, stop.
Sounds like a game of Wise at Calvert Hall. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I thought you was going BTC nonsense. Okay, thank you. So, Coach JC, Coach JC Pinckney, who once again is, he's in the Hall of Fame, in the Hall of Fame for the state of Maryland. He does a great job down there getting those guys together. He's won in the 1A, he's won in the 2A. I think he's won in the 3A. I mean, he's kind of been all over the place. Does a great job for them. They return a lot. They got a special quarterback down there. Coach JC still running the triple option and does a good job with that. They returned Nasir Jones, who's a 4-year D lineman for them, who, Coach said is a super athlete. He looks for him to be, a scholarship type guy when it all shakes out. And they had a JV that finished 8-1 last year with them returning 6 offensive starters and 7 defensive starters, and they were 11-1 last year. So he sees it as coming back this year.
If you guys are 3 miles apart,
Yep.
how do you determine who gets what kids? By
He
geographic?
takes all our players.
I'm
just playing, man.
I'm good job, Coach.
I'm just playing, Jay. I'm just playing.
You got anything for Coach?
No, I mean, yeah, that's Frederick Douglass. They're good, man. I watched them plenty over the years, and he does a great job with his program.
All right, Howard County. Who do we got up for Howard County?
Well, I'm going to go with the old head, River Hill, Van Duzen. I mean, he's the elder statesman of the county. He's been there forever, and he does an excellent job, even with some of the lesser talent he gets from time to time. But he just continues to win. He's won several state championships, and just working with him over the years, he's done an outstanding job working them through the BTC. I mean, they just a hell of a team, and they continue to just grow. They did lose a big-time player in Bo, who's at Maryland right now.
University of Maryland, yep.
And but I can't see them losing too much. They just continue to roll.
Yeah, Tom Grunberg is the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Strength coach there, does a great job with Van. Van is one of our, Reggie and him are the only two Maryland coaches that won the game in the Big 33. Being around Van, very organized, very soft-spoken, but knows the game of football. Learned from his dad and people in Howard County. Again, another ambassador,
Yep.
just like DeLon. You can't ask for a better XOs guy, and just a genuine person. That's what I'm learning from Van. He's my co-director in the Big 33. Cherishes his daughters and his family, and Van plays golf, does first tee stuff. Again, shout out to Brian Van Dusen, does a great job.
Yes,
Loves
sir.
that wing tee, baby.
Yeah, yep.
Yep, he
Big
does.
33, we ran wing tee.
Yep.
Boy, first time we went trap up the thing, touchdown. Darius Victor is in the NFL, another NFL guy, and he does. He ran jet sweep. He did stuff in the All-Star game. I looked at him and was like, "What? We're supposed to run double slot, throw the ball downfield." Van's like, "No, we're going to beat them on wing tee." So shout out to Van, good job. Coach, where are we at now with you?
All right, second I'm gonna go with Potomac High School, which is a 2A school in
That's
our
Potato
county.
Mac.
Huh?
Potato Mac High School.
Potato Mac, huh?
That's what
you
people.
call it?
That's what people in Baltimore say. Potomac.
Oh, yeah.
Put it together.
They got to do better.
All right.
They got to do better.
Go ahead.
All right. So last year Potomac made it to the state championship. Came up a little short. They lost to Middletown High School, but just getting there was a big deal for them, right? I talked to Coach Crump today. That's my guy. He's a super ambassador. I think when it comes to him, he's all about getting the kids to college, right, and kind of helping them through and along and everything that they got going on. His biggest thing that he talked about was just the return in their O-line. Like, he's huge about it. That starts with Martinez Holland, 6'7", 290.
6'7", 290.
And my man got offers. Like, this sheet is so long, I'm not even reading that. Then I see a dude.
Who's the biggest offer yet?
He's got, this looks like, Coach, you gonna make me read them, thank you. Morgan State, Texas Southern, Alabama A&M, and Hampton. Then the right tackle fits in at 6'6", 320. Hey, Crump, man, you might need to play the private schools, man. Jeez.
No, I'll tell you right now, if I was still at St. Paul's, I'd just put the one guy there. He would be the whole left side of my line. I wouldn't need anybody else.
Jesus
I'd be like,
Christ.
God.
So he's got, he had a bunch of guys. Last year he's got to replace. He had a 3-year starter in Dominic Anthony at quarterback, who's at Old Dominion now.
Yep.
He had Corey Dyches, who signed to Maryland, the wide receiver. He brings back Darian Carter-Williams, who seems to be his leading rusher, and Damian Dawkins, who is the leading receiver. So Coach Crump's going to figure out a way to get that thing done. He always does. And hopefully he'll be playing late in the season, representing PG.
Awesome. That's a great. All right, Howard County. What we got now for Howard County?
I'm going with Wild Lake. Coach Brian Henderson over there. They made it to the regional championship last year with a young team. They ended up losing, but he returns a lot of his guys back. JV was undefeated, and most of his varsity guys were already sophomores and juniors. So he turns an unbelievable program back. I believe this is going into his second year. He was the D coordinator over there with Mike Harris for a while, but head coach, he does a hell of a job, and I think he's one of the guys who are a little disappointed we're not playing right now because athletically they're pretty good.
It's unbelievable. Some of the stuff. That they have down there. It's another great Howard. You know what I see the problem though is Howard County football is so good. But they can't play wise. They can't play all the schools because they got so many.
County, right?
They got to stay in county, which is the most.
Right. Well, they opened the schedule last year for 1 or 2 games, but the problem is our region is all Howard County schools. So there's only 2 schools that are not 3A, and that's Glenelg and Oakland Mills. But all of the rest of us are 3A. So we just beat up. So even though we might play an open game, we still, once we get to the playoffs, we're beating on each other.
Right.
And only 1 or 2 of us can get out the region because we just beat.
Sir, we done had this problem since the dinosaurs were here. Buddy.
See, but the problem though is now we have COVID interfering with us. So all that's going to go on the back burner now because you're worried about everything else.
Right.
Coach, who do you got for the third team out there in PG?
I'm gonna go with C.H. Flowers and my main man Damon Powell. As we know, I think Damon's coached in the Big 33 a couple times. Once again, a Moco guy with a PG representative. So, you know, I always joke him a little bit about that. Coach Powell's done a great job over there kind of reviving the Flowers program. It kind of went in the hole a little bit. He came in, kind of reconstructed some things, got it back kind of how it was when it first opened. He's got two players committed to Maryland, which is always good. He's got a tight end, LaRon Husbands, and a D tackle, Tommy Akinasotu. All right, this dude is gigantic, like 6'5", in a 3 technique. Whew, problems. Okay, he's got 2 other players. He's got a DB, Jalen McCain, and a linebacker, Wayne Matthews. Both of those are committed to ODU, Old Dominion. Shout out Coach Ricky Rain. He's doing a great job recruiting the area. Former Penn State OC, right? Just a great guy, kind of doing his thing. I think that, as always, you know, Flowers is always there at the end, right? But kind of alluded to what, you know, what Coach said is you still got to play back through PG County, right? So in the end, when you got 2 good teams, that I often wonder if they were out in the open bracket, that if they had to play teams from other places, then I think the ending would be a little different. You know, it's so it's something to think about. You know, I'm hoping that, you know, some things shake around in the state when we get back.
We've been talking about that for the last 2-3 years, about reshuffling the deck so people play each other.
Yeah, so
because the same thing's happening in Anne Arundel County. And everybody's beating each other up to get to the Final Four. Yeah, it's not fair.
There you go. So if we kind of threw everybody out into the open, and then, hey, maybe we get a Howard County team, we get an Anne Arundel County team, and you kind of put Flowers out in that open market. I think they got something.
But you know what the problem though is it's common sense. You guys that make the decisions down there in the state office, it's common sense. Listen to the football coaches. Sorry, I thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, that's where.
That's where they are. Hey, I'll tell you what little story is. You know, everybody, Coach Doug Duvall is the president of BTC, legendary football coach at Wild Lake. You know, him and I run the BTC together, and we were always bouncing ideas off. And one time he said to me, "Hey, Coach, you know, we got, you know, Big 33. There's this young coach down in PG County. We got to get this guy. He's real excited about it." He's real excited about it, and Doug said, "It's that Damon Powell guy." You know, and I was like, "Really? Who is that guy? I've never met him before." And he, "Coach, we're going to meet him." So we jumped down and, you know, we got him involved. Real quick, I got the 10-minute warning here for X and O's.
So I'm going to go with let's go with Merritt Ridge, Marcus Lewis. They were Cole County champs last year. He has a young man that he got recruited that's at UConn, playing tight end DN. They do an excellent job over there.
We can go 5 minutes over. So.
You know, he does a lot with less. He does a really good job over there. He's been over there the last several years, and he's done a really good job over there.
You know what? I agree 100%. Seen him around, seen what's going on now. He needs to step up and help all of us too. You know, he needs to start mentoring us young guys. You know, how to coach the football. And let's go to Wise real quick. So we'll be looking at Wise.
Okay, we'll finish up with the Wise Pumas. I think, you know, once again, I think we're in a good situation. We return 8 players on offense, and we bring back the majority of what we had last year. I think we kind of were a year ahead of schedule to say. I think that I'll be a little biased here, but I think the best player in the state of Maryland is Jalil Farouk, wide receiver, corner, do it all. He'll be choosing his college on Sunday, and he's down to Maryland, Oklahoma, LSU, Clemson, and Bama. So, you know, we'll kind of see how that shakes out on Sunday.
LSU!
You know, we have Tavion Clark, who's committed to Old Dominion, DN. Caden Jernigan, who's committed to Howard, who's a strong safety for us. We have Jaden Saray, who, once again, I think is also the best junior quarterback in the state. He's got about 15 BCS offers right now. And, you know, I think we're ready to hit and miss. And, I mean, we're hitting, you know, kind of play from there.
So looking at another possible state championship.
Possibly.
Good job. We'll keep it rolling down there, DeLong. Keep it rolling. Before we do X and O's, a couple of things I wrote down that are some good, interesting stuff. We don't need to discuss it, but I wanted to put on the podcast. So I was reading an article. Phillip Rivers, quarterback for
The Colts.
For the Colts, right? 16 years in the NFL. He was just named coach in waiting for a high school football team in Alabama. I don't know if you guys heard that. So it's St. Michael's Catholic in Alabama. So his goal in life was to be a pro quarterback and to coach high school football where his dad coached. So that's a pretty cool thing. Second thing, Deion Sanders goes from high school to college now, Jackson University. I met Dion at the Under Armour All-American game. Him and Ed Reed were the head coaches. It was comical and it was great, and I think he's going to do great things there. They said today the rumors with Sapp and T.O. are false. Right. So, but I think he's going to do a good job. And then we want a little shout out to, we were talking about earlier, Archbishop Curley's Deontay Harris. Played at Curley, went to Assumption College, lit it up in 1AA college. He is the #1 slot right now for the Saints. He's got 4 catches for 40 yards. Last year was Rookie of the Year for special teams. Signed a big 3-year deal, $1.7 million. Played in the Big 33, but it's very unique. We talked about before. Deontay is only 5'6", 170. Playing in the NFL, 5'6", 170, and he's very fast. We want to congratulate the Harris family and Deontay, what he's doing. At this point, we're going to do our X and O's. Coach Rapp is the offensive coordinator. He's going to do some X and O's. I'll hold the board, and then we'll close it out.
I got that.
It's where I make my money, baby. It's where it comes down. All right, guys. I watched the podcast last week, and I saw a trial give us a little league play. So I'm gonna give you something you can honestly take home and try to throw in your deal all the time, right? I'm on Twitter all the time, so you can follow me there or DM me, and I can kind of get the information to you if we want to talk about it. I'll go from 10 personnel to start off with, right? Because that seems to be the trend on where everybody wants to be at. For us, we see a lot of the 3-tech away from the back, and I guess a lot of that comes down to playing zone or whatever, however you want to call that. So I'll just go with a base 1 high.
Here, I'll hold the board. Hold the microphone.
All right, I'll just go with a base 1 high to kind of keep things in line. Okay, for us, we're a super power team. All right, we run power, we run counter. That's kind of how we are. So if that's what you do, this is an easy add-on to whatever it is you're doing now. We see a lot of man. I don't know about for in other counties and stuff, but we get a lot of spin and a lot of chase when we use jet motion because we run that a lot. So we'll start early. Okay, so up front we're going to have 1 back power. So for us, right, center's blocking back. We got a man on block up front. We'll wrap the guard, and I'm going to explain why we do this here in a second. Okay, so it's a regular old 1 back power blocking scheme. Here's where we differ. Okay, we'll read the front side backer, #1. Okay, we bring the jet across. Okay, quarterback will lock up with him. For here, we're shooting the tailback, so we have the guard pull looking inside, the tailback to check, replace, and then working to the safety. Okay, if the backer chases, the quarterback will pull it and run quarterback G ISO. All right, +1 in the box. If the backer maintains and steps up to meet the running back, we'll give the jet. We got block on, and now we're on the perimeter. All right, easy way to win. If he chases or whatever, he'll be in trash. Stem here, okay? Easy way to win. Something that's not too hard. Reading the standstill player makes things simple. If anybody got any questions, you can DM me, Twitter me, whatever you need. I'll answer it. If you want it versus 50 front or whatever it is you're seeing, we can talk about it. But this is nice and simple. I tried. This ain't, for the 7th graders.
So, Coach,
yes,
question.
Sir. Yep.
So, if you're reading that back, that backer right there.
Yep.
So you're telling me if he sits, you're giving
the jet. We're giving the jet all day. So really, what we see, right, is because we run so much power. As soon as you get the down block, my man's filling. So as soon as he fills, we give this. We're away from it. We're man on man on the perimeter. Out here, we always talk about no block, no rock. So if we can't win on the perimeter, okay, you will not touch this ball. All right, this is a big thing for us. Our receiver coach has stressed this. This is big time, right? Then we started dealing with the spin, right? Where he'll do this, he'll do that, and the backer will replace. Once that happens, okay, we obviously don't run this anymore. Okay, we got another answer for that, but I'm not giving that away. You want to find that on the film, okay? But essentially, we'll start. This is a good play to start the game with because you're already +1 in the box. You can get that block and that block, and you can get to the perimeter fast. Anything else? I'm in.
All right, again, gentlemen, hey, this is podcast number 3 of 8. You guys did a great job tonight. Really appreciate you being here. Again, continue to be a great mentor in the football community. Special shout out again for our sponsors. Under Armour's a sponsor, DePaul's Bar and Grill's a sponsor, Rich Hosler with EXP Realtor. Again, if you got to sell your house down south, Rich Hauser, ex-head coach at Mount St. Joe, that's the guy you want to go to. I want to thank Varsity Sports Network today. Spoke to them, one of our big sponsors. Howard County Rec and Park's running a great program out there. And again, got any questions, all you got to do is hit us up, text him on his Twitter, do whatever you got to do. We'll answer any questions. But again, we got another great, successful show tonight. Appreciate it. Good night, everybody, and have a safe trip home. Thank you.